Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into something that has just sent absolute shockwaves through the entire world of cricket. All right, so let's get right to it. Why on earth would Pakistan just forfeit the biggest, most watched match in the entire T20 World Cup? We're talking about the India match. Well, the answer isn't simple, and it's definitely not just about cricket. This is a calculated move in a much, much bigger game. So where did this all begin? It kicked off with a really bold and honestly pretty unusual move. It was the Pakistani government, not their cricket board, mind you, that made this huge announcement. And it was a direct challenge to the International Cricket Council. You know, the ICC, the big boss of world cricket. And let's be clear, this wasn't just some empty threat. Nope, this was a full-on declaration that Pakistan was ready to face the consequences, whatever they might be, even if it meant losing crucial points and taking a real hit in the tournament. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting strategy-wise. You see, the source material says their first idea was to boycott the entire tournament. Just pack up and go home. But the ICC, well, they weren't having it and threatened some massive sanctions. So Pakistan pivoted. They played a googly, as they say in cricket. By just refusing the India match, they could still send that powerful political message they wanted, but maybe, just maybe, sidestep the absolute worst punishments. So you've got to be asking, why? Why take such a massive risk? Well, it turns out this whole thing didn't just pop up out of nowhere. The real story, the root of this conflict, actually starts with a completely different controversy involving a whole other team. So check out this chain of events. It's like a domino effect. It all started with something that seemed, relatively small. A player from Bangladesh, Mustafizur Rahman, gets dropped from his IPL team. Now, Bangladesh claims this happened because of pressure from the Indian government. So they go to the ICC, they protest, and they demand their World Cup matches be moved out of India. The ICC says no. And in response, Bangladesh just pulls out of the entire World Cup. Boom, just like that. And this is where Pakistan comes back into the picture. Their official reason for forfeiting wasn't about a direct beef with India. No, they framed it as an act of solidarity with Bangladesh, another Muslim-majority nation. Now, the source we're looking at argues this was a very deliberate move to bring Islamic politics right onto the cricket pitch, essentially using the sport as a stage for a much bigger political statement. So let's dig into the core argument here, because according to the source, this is way bigger than just cricket boards and rules. What we're really seeing, according to this analysis, is a clash of two massive competing ideologies, Hindutva and Islamic fundamentalism. And their new battlefield? It's the cricket pitch. That quote, "both hands are clapping," is so important here. It's basically saying, hey, this isn't a one-sided affair. The source is arguing that both sides are actively fanning the flames and politicizing the sport. And if you look here, you can see the breakdown of the accusations. On the India side, the allegation is that they're pushing a Hindutva or Hindu nationalist agenda in cricket. Stuff like alleged government pressure on players and this thing called Operation Sindoor in a previous tournament. Then on the Pakistan side, they're accused of weaponizing Islamic politics for leverage. And again, the government stepping in and making the call, not the cricket board. And here's the kicker. The ICC has a golden rule. It's right there in their constitution. No government interference. Period. It's supposed to be hands-off. So when you have governments from both sides allegedly getting involved like this, making calls that the cricket board should be making, well, you're threatening the entire independence of the sport. All right, so what's the fallout? What are the real-world consequences of this high-stakes game of chicken? To put this in perspective, you have to remember this number, 14. It's been 14 years since India and Pakistan played a regular head-to-head cricket series. 14 years. The only time these two giants clash is in big tournaments like the World Cup. So for Pakistan to give up this match, it's not just a big deal, it's a massive, massive statement. Now, the ICC isn't powerless here. They've got a whole menu of punishments they can dish out. We're talking heavy fines, banning players, maybe even suspending Pakistan from future tournaments entirely. They could even target their domestic league. But here's the thing. Despite all these threats, Pakistan hasn't blinked. They're standing firm. But the damage isn't just about fines and bans. Think about the World Cup itself. The India-Pakistan match is the Super Bowl of cricket. It's the main event, the one everyone waits for. It brings in insane viewership and a ton of money. When you pull that match, the whole tournament just loses its shine. Broadcasters, sponsors, and most importantly, the fans, everyone loses out. And that brings us to our final point. And honestly, it's probably the most troubling part of this whole story. The source ends with this really powerful, kind of sad quote. For so long, cricket has been called the gentleman's game, right? It was built on sportsmanship, on fair play. But the feeling now is that the game has been completely hijacked. It's no longer in the hands of sportsmen. It's being controlled by people who are playing a totally different game, a political one. And they don't seem to care about the gentlemanly spirit of it all. And so that's the question we're left with, isn't it? Has politics just permanently broken the gentleman's game? I mean, if the biggest rivalry, the most watched match in the sport, can be thrown away as a political bargaining chip, what does that mean for the future? Can cricket ever really go back to being just about the sport? Or is it now just another pawn in a much bigger, more dangerous game? That's really the question on every cricket fan's mind right now.